Prince Harry's journey through grief has always been closely tied to the tragic death of his mother, Princess Diana. At just 12 years old, Harry's world was turned upside down when Diana was killed in a car crash in Paris. The impact of that moment still echoes through his life today, especially in his memoir Spare. For Harry, dealing with the loss of Diana has been an emotional roller coaster, marked by both personal reckoning and public revelations. In Spare, Harry opens up about how he tried to come to terms with his mother's death, even attempting to retrace her final moments in the Alma underpass where she tragically passed. At 23, Harry drove through that underpass, hoping the experience would offer him the closure he so desperately needed. Instead, the attempt only deepened his pain, leaving him drunk and wandering the streets of Paris. It was as if retracing those steps had opened up the wounds of his grief rather than healing them. But even after stepping away from royal duties and moving to Montecito, California, in 2020, Diana's presence continued to haunt Harry. The grief didn't disappear with the change of scenery. Instead, it seemed to follow him. This time, it wasn't a reckless night in Paris that Harry sought to relive. Instead, he met a woman who claimed she could communicate with his late mother. Harry, now desperate for clarity, found himself seeking answers in places he might have once dismissed. This encounter, which could easily be dismissed as nothing more than spiritual mumbo-jumbo, struck a deeply emotional chord with Harry. The woman described a sign from Diana. She knew about an incident where Archie had broken a Christmas ornament shaped like Queen Elizabeth II. "Your mother says she had a bit of a giggle about that," the woman told Harry. How could she have known unless Diana was truly there? This unexpected moment, both strange and deeply personal, seemed to confirm what Harry longed to hear, that his mother was still watching over him. Harry's memoir, Spare, published in January 2023, quickly became the fastest-selling non-fiction book in UK history. With this book, Harry not only opened up about his grief but also spilled personal, often uncomfortable details about his life. The revelations were explosive. Harry admitted to using recreational drugs, including ayahuasca and magic mushrooms, to cope with his loss. He also shared embarrassing moments from his past, including the time he peed his pants before a date with Meghan. These candid admissions added fuel to the fire of Spare's global media frenzy. But perhaps one of the most controversial aspects of Spare was Harry's use of psychedelics. While some saw his exploration of ayahuasca as a therapeutic journey to find peace with his grief, others felt it glorified drug use. Harry himself described the experience in a way that seemed to suggest a breakthrough in his healing process. "She, Diana, wants me to be happy," Harry said, acknowledging that his mother's presence in his life remained a constant source of comfort, even after her death. Yet, despite the public struggles and family tensions laid bare in his book, Harry continued to seek answers. It was during his time in Montecito that he turned to a psychic, recommended by trusted friends. Harry, ever the skeptic, knew there was a high percentage chance of humbuggery, as he put it. But when the psychic confirmed that Diana was with him, it was enough to stop him in his tracks. "Your mother knows you're looking for clarity," the woman said, offering Harry a sense of peace he hadn't felt in years. She even referenced his decision to leave the royal family, saying, "You're living the life she couldn't. You're living the life she wanted for you." But Harry wasn't entirely convinced. He needed a sign that the psychic's words were genuine. That's when the woman mentioned the ornament incident with Archie. The psychic couldn't have known about that moment unless something supernatural was at play. Harry finally felt the connection he had been seeking for years, a confirmation that his mother was still with him, guiding him, even from beyond the grave. This Christmas, Harry will spend his 6th holiday away from the royal family. While the senior royals head to Sandringham for their annual festivities, Harry, Meghan, and their 2 children, Archie and Lilibet, will stay in Los Angeles. The distance from the royal family remains, but so does Harry's desire for answers, peace, and reconciliation. Meanwhile, Meghan continues to navigate her strained relationship with her father, Thomas Markle. Despite sending him a hand-delivered letter after he underwent a life-saving leg amputation, it seems reconciliation is unlikely. Meghan's relationship with the media and her father's connections to the press have only made their estrangement more difficult to overcome. And though Meghan tried to offer viewers a glimpse into her holiday life with a special Christmas edition of her Netflix show, the response was less than kind. Critics dubbed it an experiment in aggressive hospitality, and it didn't quite capture the festive spirit they had hoped for. As Harry and Meghan continue to carve out their new lives away from the royal family, it's clear that Harry's search for closure remains at the heart of his journey. His pursuit of answers, from spiritual connections to personal revelations, isn't just about his past. It's about finding peace with the decisions he's made, the grief that still lingers, and the legacy of his mother. But whether he ever truly finds the closure he seeks remains to be seen.